What's going on, everybody? It's Rockman3K3, and welcome back to Insomniac's Journal. Excuse me. Where I can't sleep because I think I know the truth. Of course, I'm your host with the absolute most issues, Rockman3K3. And guys, before I get into tonight's journal entry, I just want to say thank you so much to my friends who reached out to me after hearing the first episode. I want to apologize to everyone. I didn't intend for it to be that I guess dramatic and depressing at the beginning, and I assure you guys everything's okay. But the friends who checked up on me, you guys know who you are because there was a lot of you. I don't have time to name everyone, but thank you. I appreciate it. And I'm fine. I was just thinking out loud, but I always say this, and I think I even said this the last episode, but I have really awesome friends, and thank God that's never changed. They're the rock stars to me because they're always so cool and they're out doing stuff. So, and they still from time to time stop and check on me like, bruh, you okay? Like, that was a little depressing. What's going on? So, I really appreciate it to all of you who chimed in. And like I said, I'm fine. And I took your words to heart. I didn't ignore what you said because we had like a great conversation to a few of my friends. And then a few others also had great conversations with me as well. So, I'm fine. Just thinking out loud. And, I take it to heart. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to go out on the train tracks or anything, even though I live right across from them. But yeah, so I'm still here and everything's good. Good old Rockman's not going anywhere. Man, and tonight, I don't know, so I've been thinking lately, like, life is flimsy, man. Like, it's crazy stuff, like, especially what's going on nowadays in the world. Like, life is just way too complicated. And I was thinking about, for some odd reason, maybe think about 90s commercials, like in the 90s, every 90s commercial, regardless of what they were selling, just made life seem just super awesome and rad and tolerable. And I was like, you can't do it. Like, for example, in real life, you had commercials in the 90s that, let's say, okay, real life situation that I had, and this is where I actually came up with the idea, is I was stopped at the train crossing where I live at. And so I was just thinking, there's a line of cars. I mean, it was a line of us. Like, I was kind of turned out kind of in the middle of the road, but I was still in, like, the kind of turning position. Anyway, it was like 4 or 5 cars deep. And so I was thinking, I was like, man, if this was a 90s commercial, we'd all get out and somebody will have like a 12-pack taco from Taco Bell. And we'd be like, Yakilo Taco Bell. And then we'd be drinking drinks and we'd talk about the new specials at Taco Bell. And we'd party. And then when the train tracks, or when they're clear, when the little crossing thing would come up, we'd be like, y'all want to keep it going? Yeah! So that's how it is in a 90s commercial. But in reality, you can't get out of the car and talk to someone else in the other car and be like, hey, what's up? Like, because they'll probably call the police on you. So, it's pretty funny because you can do all that in a 90s commercial. It's just like, I was thinking too, when you're sitting at home alone, like I was sitting at home alone, and I was like, if this is a 90s commercial, I'd be sitting here chilling, and then I'd pop a Dentine Ice, and I'd be like, ooh, cool. And then all of a sudden, like, women would just come up and party and all kinds of crazy stuff would happen, but in reality, if I just pop a Dentine Ice, I'm just going to have fresh breath and that's it. Like, I'm still just going to be here alone. It's very funny. So, everything was cooler in the 90s. Very, very cool. The 90s and the early 2000s. I even went so far to think, like, man, like, what would my life be like as a 90s sitcom? And then, I came up with this. This fall, coming to Fox. You've seen him out and about just playing video games, but now you're going to get inside his wacky life. An upstart video gamer who wants to be a game designer? Whoa, that's crazy. From outside dating? Like, well, I'm here at Starbucks, waiting on you. Yeah, where are you? Oh, you're in Arkansas. Oh, yeah, no, I see that now. Now that I've looked at the dating app, it says you're 200 miles away. Oops. To crazy bill problems. Oh, what am I gonna do? Rent's due and the power bill is due? Oh no. Well, Cliff, guess we're gonna have to go ahead and just solve this equation and then, run this bike-a-thon. Alright, but first let me just save my game. It's the 90s hit show Cliff. A dark emo comedy about a video gamer becoming a game designer. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll have fun, and most importantly, man, that's wild stuff. Check it out today, this fall, on Fox. Yeah, so it would probably suck as a 90s show, maybe, I don't know. I'd probably get at least one season and then Fox would cancel it, but my whole life, man, it's crazy. It's, it is, it's like I asked one of my friends and she said, more than likely, she's like, I can't see your life as a sitcom. I can totally see your life as a dark comedy. And you know what? She's kind of right, because that's kind of what it is. Life has hardened me to where I laugh at dark things, and I've become a much darker person. A lot of people. But, it is what it is. 90s TV. It was just so crazy, man. Like, back then in the 90s, like, there were no such thing as bad ideas. Like, any and every idea that could work was totally going to go for it. Like, the corporations, the networks were like, yeah, let's do it, and it's very crazy to see how things have changed, because now a lot of, excuse me, a lot of shows don't make it past, the first episode now, like it used to be, they used to at least get a full season, but it's very rare. It used to be very rare that, episodes shows get canned after 2 or 3 episodes, but now it's almost commonplace because there's so many ideas firing on all cylinders, and then the networks are trying to beat out the streaming services. It's crazy. So, but yeah, no, the 90s. Crazy times. Crazy times. It's funny when you look back and then you look forward. Nothing ever matches your thought processes. Like, processes, however you say that. But nothing matches, like, you don't have the same thought mechanics. Like, they definitely change. And I guess that's because you as a person change, Like, you never... Well, some of us change. But you never think a constant way until, I don't know. I guess life just... I don't know if... Would it be fair to say that life challenges... can't talk. Let's try it again. Take 2. Would it be fair to say that life challenges your train of thought? Or the way your train of thought moves? Or is it that gradually over time life will change the way you think? Or your train of thought? It's very crazy. You go to bed one person, you wake up another. You're never the same person that you was before. Yeah, you never were the same person. Never. When you sit and you think about what you wanted at 18, and now what you want at like 33, like things, like the world, the perspectives are completely different. And it's funny because it goes back to the old axiom, ignorance is bliss. At 18, you believe you're invincible. Like, you believe the whole world is your cauldron, and you can spew whatever kind of molten lava into the mold, and you just go automatically make this masterpiece sword. But then when you become 33, it's more like, okay, how can I still keep the cauldron going? And it's crazy to think about that, because When you're 18, you're never worried about running out of fire, metal, anything for the cauldron. But when you're 33, that's all you can't stop thinking about is, how do I keep it alive? How do I keep it going? Dreams don't always come true, Determinations don't always come through, They don't always carry you through things, but I guess if you keep this constant ambition and momentum, maybe you can get to it. And, sometimes, even when you do accomplish what you wanted to accomplish at a younger age or what you set out to do, sometimes it's just different. It feels different. It's always been the funniest thing, and it's always the one thing I've asked myself for the longest is, when I do finish this game, when I finally get it finished, let alone demo, like, man, when I finally get a demo phase, I'll be that's going to make me just explode with joy, because I've been trying to at least get the demo out for so long. But I'm just talking about an end project, like the full project, That, man, getting to that end game, like, I don't know. I think it's going to feel really different for me. Like, how will I feel? And will I feel like it's complete? How many expansions am I going to make to it? Like, I initially planned for maybe 4 major expansions, and then that's it. If I can even do it. I have to see if I can even do expansions with this kind of engine. But it's crazy, man. Like, life is crazy. And that's all you can really say. Because you look at from 18 to 33, that's what is that? 15 years? That's a 15-year span. And pretty soon for me, it's going to be 34 next month. So you analyze that. And you ask yourself, like, how far have I come? Or sometimes, how far have I regressed? And then I sit and I think, and then I remember that, as long as I chase something, and as long as I'm still going in that direction, I've never truly failed, And that's what you gotta keep about yourself when you're chasing after big dreams. A wise person once told me that when you chase after big dreams, sometimes, because they're going to take a long time, even getting to the little milestones, get you down, trying to get there, get you down. And she recommended, just try to make, a milestone. One of my other friends said, just take it one day at a time, and each day do something different than you did the previous day, And that's... Change is crazy. Change is crazy, and it's scary. Super scary. But inevitably, it can be a good thing for us. Sometimes it can be bad, but most times change is just change. And I think change is change, and we perceive it as good or bad for us. I guess it's relative to the nature of how we want our life to play out, or how we want something in our life to play out. My whole life I always thought I was the nice guy, and women don't want nice guys. Nice guys finish last. I don't think that's true. Not so much, anyway. Which part, you might ask? I don't know. I think I'm a nice guy. I think I try to be as nice as I can be, but, I'm probably evil to some people. I'm probably a heathen to others. I'm sure not everyone likes me. I'm not for everyone. But in the dating world, just everything changes. I guess the overall theme for this is probably change. In the 90s, but change. Things change so fast, you know? There's another old axiom that says the more things change, the more they stay the same, but that's that's crazy. That's crazy, but in some ways it is true too. I don't believe that. I believe some things are like stones or pebbles, if that makes sense, in a stream of change. Like if change is like this body of water, right? Some things that will never change about ourselves will just stay stagnant in one place, or like the stones that you find in waterfalls, or when you're like around like white waters or whatever, you know? Sometimes I see life as this body of water that's just rushing you down this path, and along the way, the things you don't want to change are stones, people or trees, scenery in the background, your ability and who you are is your own oxygen, and you're trying to just survive this one stream or this one body of water just to get to the other side. And the other side is the end of your life. Sometimes, whether you know it or not, you rush that boat and it gets to the other side a lot faster than you intended. And then sometimes you delay it. Whether it's because you take the paddles up or, you know, because you just go with the flow. Sometimes you knock yourself out of the boat because you're so afraid of the water itself. You're so frantic, you know? I think that's how life is. I think sometimes we sabotage ourselves because we're so worried about what is going to happen in life. And because we can't change it, we try to sabotage it. We try to, oh, okay, cool, I'm just going to go ahead and do this to myself so that way nobody else can do it. And it's a painful lesson because you learn that even sometimes you can't stand in the way of your own self. You can't stand in your own way even when you try sometimes because, well, things happen. Things are inevitable. Change is inevitable. It will happen whether we want it or not. Much like war, as the great Sun Tzu says. It just determines, or it just depends, or the outcome depends on, you know, what we do and our actions, I guess. Peace is just the in-between time before more war. How crazy is that, right? I remember growing up, being in high school, just being ready to do things, be a game designer. I talked about it so often. I never knew how hard it would be, but I knew I wanted it, you know. And Mom was behind me 100%. A lot of the family was behind me 100%. And I just continue to do what I can. And I just continued doing what I could. Just learning anything I could about game design and learning about games. And it's crazy, man. When you plan life, when you're in there planning your life in high school with the counselors, and of course they're trying to get you to whatever college they think you should go to, and whatever makes the school looks good, you know. You never stop to think what could go wrong. You never stop to think, what if the economy crashes? What if the loans are terrible? What if you can't handle student loans? What if your degree is worthless? It's insane. It's all insane. If I could go back in time, probably still wouldn't change anything. The paths that I chose, where I needed to go, everything I did in life led me to a great point where I need to, where I needed to be. Could I have done some things better? Absolutely. Anyone can. No one's perfect. No path is perfect. Every hard-working path to a dream accomplished is littered with blood, failures, bones, practices, insanities. But you get there. You get there. And when you get to that end, when you get to that goal, it's automatically all worth it. Because you got to where you were. You got to a place where you didn't think you would get to. You looked back at 18 and now you're at 33. It's amazing. Sometimes I'm so down on myself, I forget to even look at all the accomplishments I've done. How far I've come from that kid in high school. If I can say anything to who I was at 18, I would tell that person to keep looking forward. Same thing I told myself that night. That one faded night. Just keep looking forward. Maybe things will be different. And they were. They were. It's very funny. I don't know what you'd call me in high school. Probably the goofy video game kid. I was quiet. I talked when I needed to. I worked. Always worked. Man, I don't think I ever had an off time for work. Man, I worked ever since I was 15. Sad part is I fucked up. I don't think I'll be able to ever retire. I'm hoping I will one day and just be able to play through some of the 60% of my collection that I haven't beaten, and just enjoy that. Or, do some stuff I like to do. Or hopefully if I'm making games by then, continue to make games. Even if they're not A titles or A-list title games. Can say that, for the first time in a long time, I'm proud of where I came from and where I am now. Come a long way from the kid in Twin Gates. Man, sometimes I wonder if people really understand how far they come. Real change. Real progression. It's amazing. Once you really sit and think about it, it is amazing. One lifespan to another almost, it seems. And it's only been a few years. It always makes you wonder what's going to happen in the next few years, What's on the docket, what's coming up. I remember as a child, I was obsessed with, what tomorrow would hold. And my grandmother, when she was still alive, she said, don't worry about tomorrow. Worry more so about the present, today, the gift of life today. She's like, some people don't even have today. Well, I'll never forget that. She was, Ethel May was one of the smartest people in the world. Didn't have a lot of degrees, she had, like, you know, pretty much, I think she had maybe one college degree. But I mean, grandma she didn't need certificates, she didn't need degrees. She was a people person, and she was intelligent. And she did what she could to provide for everybody. And it's funny that she would tell me that. Because I would grow to remember that for the rest of my life. And I always try to do that. My uncle, before he passed, a long time ago, he once told me, no matter what situation you're in, always try to stay on top of it. I also remember that. That also stays with me because he was, oh man, he was a crazy guy. But we had so much fun around him. And he was, hey, man, that guy was the definition of worked hard and played hard. Like, he was a crazy Marine guy. But he was one of the best. And he'd always, if he had a few drinks, man, he'd always shake my hand. He was like, blood, Man, he was a dope guy. One of the best uncles. I'll never forget him. So what has changed? What has changed in a world of commonality, of division, of all kinds of crazy stuff, of super labels, of not discriminatory or non-discriminatory practices, or the try of? What has changed in the lives of so many? It's crazy to think that we're only on this planet for so long. But at the same point, it's also crazy that we live as long as we do. I remember joking with people telling them, hey, 60, I'm out. It's too many years already. Like, I couldn't be an immortal. And it's just, people live too long already as it is. But when you stop and think about it, our journeys are so long, yet they're so short. Maybe it's the perspective we're given. Maybe that's what change is. Maybe change is the ambition we feel at the time of whatever point in our lives, and how far it'll take us. I remember once being so poor that all I had was rice to eat. And I couldn't even make it to class, But now, I was in an apartment that was, oh God, that first apartment. Talk about being humble. But now I'm in a much better place in my life. Well, I think that was around like 22, 23. But I look back on that. It's also a sign of just how far I've come and how much things have changed, Life is different. Life has changed, but do we really notice it? Sorry it's taken forever. I just this episode I've been doing all kinds of stuff with me working back out again. I've had almost zero time to really sit down and just chill my thoughts for a while. But finally got it out. And yeah. So what do you guys think has changed? What do you think will change in your life? What do you think change will mean to you at the age of 35? Or what do you think change means to you now versus when you were like 16, 15? As usual, let me know. Put it in the comments or, send me an email. Otherwise, let's see, what time is it? I think I might call it here. That's about as good as time as any. It's not as long as the first one, but it's pretty much all I can really think of. Tired of really, go on and on about myself. I don't want to do that. I'd rather just sit and think and talk about things. So, if that's all it is, I'm going to go now. Of course, remember, you can check me out at, of course, the Nerd Plate on Tuesday and Thursdays. Also, you can check out my buddy Elroy Ketchum, who's on there with me. He is hilarious. And then with this one, with Insomniac's Journal, trying to nail down a specific day, but the schedule's been a little crazy, so trying to just keep it weekly at this point. And so if you don't hear anything from me, just be patient. I'm coming. I'm doing a lot of stuff between work, trying to design the game, and doing the other podcast. So, and of course, the Nerd Plate, you can catch us anywhere. You can listen to podcasts. You can also catch us on the social medias of the Nerd Plate, or at the Nerd Plate of. That'd be hilarious if they had a function of. You can catch us at the Nerd Plate, just about everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, we don't use that much. YouTube, except for Twitter. Twitter, it's at plate_nerd. And then, of course, Insomniac Journal right now, it's only on YouTube. May take that to another form, but right now, I'm keeping it on YouTube, keeping it traditional. And yeah, it's just the inner thoughts of Rockman 3K3/Cliff. So, you guys have fun out there. Stay awesome, stay gold. Think about change, what it means to you. And remember, I can't sleep because I think I know the truth. Right here on Insomniac's Journal. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for listening.